In 1910, 6 men boarded a private train car in New Jersey. They used first names only. They told the press they were going duck hunting. They were not going duck hunting. They were going to create a system that would steal 96 cents from every dollar you will ever earn. And they succeeded. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is documented history. The paper trail is public. And before this video is over, you will never look at your bank account the same way. Here is the proof. November 1910. Senator Nelson Aldrich, father-in-law to John D. Rockefeller Jr., gathered 5 of the most powerful bankers in America. Henry Davison from J.P. Morgan, Frank Vanderlip from National City Bank, controlled by Rockefeller, Paul Warburg from Kuhn, Loeb and Company, Benjamin Strong, who would later become the first governor of the New York Federal Reserve, and A. Piatt Andrew, Assistant Secretary of the Treasury. These 6 men controlled an estimated 1/4 of the entire world's wealth. They traveled in a sealed private train car to Jekyll Island, Georgia, a private resort owned by J.P. Morgan and his associates. For 9 days, they drafted a plan for a new American central bank. They called it the Aldrich Plan. When it faced political opposition, they renamed it. On December 23, 1913, 2 days before Christmas, when Congress was nearly empty, President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act. The document was almost identical to what those 6 men wrote on Jekyll Island. Nobody is connecting these dots. The Federal Reserve is not federal. It has no reserves. It is a network of private banks with government-appointed leadership. The regional Federal Reserve banks are owned by their member banks. The profits flow to private shareholders. The losses are absorbed by you. Here is how it works. Before 1913, the US dollar was backed by gold. You could walk into a bank with paper money and walk out with metal. The supply of money was limited by the supply of gold. After 1913, that changed. The Federal Reserve gained the power to create money from nothing. Not gold, not labor, just entries in a ledger. When the Fed creates money, it does not make you richer. It makes your money worth less. This is not inflation caused by supply chains or oil prices. This is inflation by design. Since the Federal Reserve was created, the US dollar has lost more than 96% of its purchasing power. What cost $1 in 1913 costs over $30 today. That is not an accident. That is the system working exactly as designed. Your financial advisor will never tell you this. The 6 men on Jekyll Island did not create a system to stabilize the economy. They created a system to transfer wealth from you to them, from the many to the few, from savers to debtors. And the biggest debtor of all is the government they control. Here is the pattern break. Everything you just heard, that is not history. That is happening right now. In March 2026, the Federal Reserve continues operating under its dual mandate, maximum employment and stable prices. But as of this month, national debt has surpassed $36 trillion. The Fed manages this debt by controlling interest rates through the Federal Open Market Committee. When rates are low, debt is cheap. When rates are high, debt becomes a weapon. The federal funds rate sits between 4.25 and 4.50%. Every quarter-point change moves billions between borrowers and lenders. And who decides? 12 people, 7 governors appointed by the president, 5 regional bank presidents. They meet 8 times per year behind closed doors. The Beige Book, their economic survey, is public. Their real conversations are not. On March 19th, 2026, a video titled How they permanently stole your financial freedom connected the 1910 meeting directly to the financial reality you live in today. It called Jekyll Island the turning point when private financial power embedded itself permanently into American governance. The creator was right, but they missed the global picture. This is not just an American problem. When the Fed prints dollars, it exports inflation worldwide. The US dollar remains the global reserve currency. Central banks from Lagos to Jakarta hold dollars. Commodities from oil to grain are priced in dollars. When your dollar buys less, their dollar buys less too. A farmer in Kenya did not attend Jekyll Island, but he pays the price every time he buys fertilizer priced in a currency controlled by 12 people in Washington. This happened in 1913, and they are doing it again right now. The Federal Reserve's tools have expanded since 1910. The term deposit facility, quantitative easing, overnight reverse repos. Each tool gives them more power to expand and contract the money supply. Expand during a crisis, contract during a recovery. The pattern creates cycles, boom and bust. Each bust concentrates more wealth at the top. Each boom pulls more people into debt. Who benefits? The same institutions represented on that private train in 1910. J.P. Morgan became J.P. Morgan Chase, the largest bank in America. National City Bank became Citibank. These are not coincidences. These are continuities. The paper trail leads somewhere they do not want you to look. Congressional efforts to audit the Federal Reserve have failed for decades. H.R. 5404 was reintroduced in January 2026. Its chances of passage are estimated below 10%. The system protects itself. Critics from Milton Friedman to Ron Paul have called for reform or abolition. The system remains, because the people who benefit from it write the rules that protect it. So what can you do? First, understand the game. You are not saving money, you are holding a depreciating asset. Every dollar in your bank account loses value while you sleep. Second, watch the indicators. The FOMC meets June 17th to 18th, July 29th to 30th, and September 15th to 16th in 2026. Watch for rate cuts exceeding 25 basis points. That signals the cartel protecting its members. Third, watch gold. When gold exceeds $2,800 per ounce, when the dollar index drops below 98, that signals institutional distrust in the currency they created. Fourth, watch for bank stress. Regional bank failures. Deposit outflows exceeding $100 billion in a quarter. These signal the next round of consolidation. The men on Jekyll Island designed a system that survives crises by causing them. Share this before it gets buried. The next video will trace what happened after 1913. How the Federal Reserve's first major test was the Great Depression. How their policies turned a recession into a catastrophe. And how the same playbook is being prepared right now. This is Cipher Finance. Now you know.